Welcome to the Telusk Forum. We're in changed circumstances from last time.
Well, we're in a national lockdown again, so it gives us more time to attend to things in the home, but less opportunity to do the outdoor activities that we'd just begun to enjoy again.
Church has gone online again, as our buildings are closed for at least 3 Sundays. The churches will not be open for private prayer on weekdays during this lockdown period.
Next Sunday, the 1st of November, there will be a Zoom service. This will be led by David Katz at 10:45 in the morning. A link will be sent out to you before Sunday to enable you to join this service.
On the 8th of November, there will be a short act of remembrance at the War Memorial, but this is by invitation only. A recording of this will be available on Wednesday the 11th of November at 11 a.m. via Facebook and YouTube.
The morning service on the 8th of November will be a recorded one from St Etley's Church at 10:45 a.m, at which Morgan Llewellyn will be the preacher.
Looking ahead, there will be an online lecture given by Dr. Rowan Williams, the former Archbishop of Canterbury, on Saturday the 21st of November at 2 p.m. If you'd like to join us to register to hear this, you can email events@crickhowellparish.org.uk.
All people working in church ministry in the Swansea and Brecon diocese are encouraged to take the online safeguarding training. This is on the St Padans website, and when you complete it, you get a certificate. We're feeling rather smug because we did ours during the first lockdown week.
Today on the programme, Kerry and Alison report back on the recent successful mental health first aid training course.
Vaughan plays 2 entertaining piano pieces accompanied by photographs by Helen and Julian.
Finally, I talked to Carl about the exciting new approach to home groups this term, and we invite you to join one of the groups.
We hope you enjoy Telusk Forum this time. Hello, I'm Alison, and I'm going to be telling you about a course that Kerry and I have recently finished along with some other people. The course is called Mental Health First Aid, and it's a course which we've been trying to get off the ground for some months now, and we managed to fit it in before lockdown. So we had a choice of doing an adult course or a youth course, and because most of the delegates work with or parent young people, we chose to do the youth one. Which was especially relevant for Kerry because she's the youth leader in our church. So as the youth leader, Kerry, what did you hope that this course would do with people like yourself working with young people?
For a while now, even before lockdown, I noticed that some of the young people had a few mental health issues and that came and went, or some had a lot more longer term problems. And sometimes we weren't quite sure how to help or what to say or what to do. We did our best, but I always felt that there was more that we should know about it so that we could support them better. And during the lockdown, the first one, some of those mental health issues were becoming exacerbated, and they had other stresses and strains, and some children that we didn't think would have mental health problems started to demonstrate a few problems. So we really felt for a while that we wanted to know more so that we could support them. And so we were really glad when this opportunity came up to take part in it. So it's a very relief now. So we don't know all the things that we need to do, but it's a start anyway, and we can learn further.
Yes, good. Yeah, thank you. Yes, we had a trainer from Cardiff, and we were lucky to have a real training course, 14 hours, so it was over 2 days, two quite full and intensive days. And she was a good trainer. She used videos. Kerry, I think you've got a workbook that we wrote in, and sometimes we answered questions. Sometimes we had to think before she gave us the answers. We had a bit of group participation, albeit at a distance from each other. We covered a lot of ground during that time. What sort of topics? Can you remember what sort of topics we covered?
Yes, well, we were given a manual which is quite thick, although fortunately some of it, half of it is in Welsh, so you don't have to read all of it, but it covers all the topics that we covered on the course. So it's first of all learning about how the adolescents develop mentally, as much as anything, and the relationship between mental health and as adolescent development. We talked about what the mental health first aid is. So it's not counselling them or doing long-term treatment or anything with them. It's literally like first aid for physical things. It's knowing what to do on the moment if something happens in club, or someone's upset, or you notice that they've self-harmed or something. So it's really knowing. So we learned a bit more about what the actual first aid of it is all about. Then we were taught about different conditions like depression, anxiety, eating disorders, substance abuse, psychosis, suicidal thoughts, substance abuse, all those sorts of issues that could be part of someone's struggle as a young person.
Yes, it's you've reminded me of how many things we covered actually. And of course some of the things were sensitive to different people because of their personal experiences or their family experiences. We were told, and we didn't expect to be experts after a 2-day course, but it raised our awareness, and it gave us lots of information, and it helped us to be more observant, I think.
That's right, to pick up on different signs that we might notice. So,
because of course our contact is with Zoom, and it's all virtual at the moment, isn't it?
Yes,
text messages through WhatsApp and phone calls and so on. But I guess it's going to be just as relevant when the pandemic crisis is over and we can get back together again.
Yes, because some of their lives have been quite disrupted by not being able to go to school and difficulties with home learning, and even going back as far as the flood that we had earlier on in the year, and other things that have been going on in their lives.
I think I learnt that you can't underestimate the effect of these things on young people growing up as they're trying to process things, because they're usually not of an age where they can control things and make the decisions. They're made on their behalf. So although we were more familiar with adult mental health problems, I think this really made us realise that we can't underestimate what comes to young people. So if we sense that a young person has got a problem and we need to take it a bit further, what were we advised on the course to do?
We had a list of things that we needed to look at in succession. So first of all, it was learning how to approach a young person who's having a problem, a situation is, and assisting them in finding out where to find some help. So it was a case of learning to listen and communicate in a non-judgmental way, so that they feel they can trust us with what they want to talk about. And then giving support and more detailed information. There are various organisations that we can refer them to, and lots of websites, and or if we feel that they need medical help as well. So it was good to have a good list of places that we could refer them to. And it was also encouraging them to take up offers of medical help, appropriate help, psychological help,
Yes.
so that they had the proper expertise dealing with the problems, and also encouraging other people in their lives to support them, so family, friends, siblings, parents, grandparents, and also us as youth workers. It was encouraging them to use us if you know, to be know that we're a listening ear if they want to come and have a chat about something. That we would take it confidentially, and but that we would take action if we felt it was necessary. So it was really good to have a comprehensive list of what to go through in each situation, and it hopefully will give us a bit more confidence to take the right steps with them.
Yes, that's right. Well, we've got our certificates.
Yes.
I noticed that, as with other first aid certificates, we have to do a refresher after 3 years. So that's something. Hopefully, we'll be out of this situation by then. So
that'd be good.
I think I was very glad I'd done the course. Did you think it was worthwhile, both for you personally and as working with young people?
Yes, definitely. So, you know, I come across a lot of people in my work as well, and and you know, we see the young people regularly, and it's just good to know that there are other things that we can do to help them.
Yeah, good. Yes. Well, I think we were very fortunate in being the last group for that seminar to have a real course. This course is now available online, which is better than not doing it, but we were privileged, I think, to be able to fit that in. Workplaces deliver this course, churches, other organisations, because of course mental health issues can affect anybody at any time. So I would, and it sounds as if you would, and I think the other delegates agreed that it's something that's of value to lots of organisations.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it, and the adult course as well.
Yes,
yes,
we're hoping to run that. We were very much helped with a grant from the Swansea and Brecon Diocese. We're very grateful for that, because the course does have a cost, and we're all volunteer, and we were helped financially by that, for which we're very grateful. But yes, we would in the future like to run the adult course too. Yes. So we are a resource. There's 11 of us soon who've gained some new skills, and we are a resource to be used by our churches and our communities and so on. So thank you very much, Kerry. Thanks for sharing this with me and with a wider audience. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
hi, Carl. It's really
Hi.
good news that we've got 2 Zoom home groups meeting every week during this time when we can't gather together in each other's homes. And in the summer, when we were thinking about the study material that we might use this autumn, I came across a scheme called Holy Habits. And there was a very positive response to that. Carl, dear, what particularly struck you?
Well, I really enjoy the home groups. That's the first thing to say. And I think it's really great to have an opportunity to talk to other Christians about being an authentic believer in Jesus in our day-to-day lives. And the Holy Habits series seemed to be a good way of doing that, opening up disciplines and things that we can do on a daily basis that just make us stronger, more authentic Christians. And the Bible Reading Foundation put together some excellent resources, which when I looked at them, I thought they'd be really interesting to discuss in the group setting.
On the face of it, it sounds rather dry and puritanical, perhaps. Holy Habits. I'm not sure that I really want that kind of lifestyle. I quite like to be free of that kind of dictated of rules and other things in life.
Yeah, it's completely the opposite, actually. It is about lifestyle and it is about choices we make each day, but it's not prescriptive and it's not stodgy and theological. It's really practical. So I find that in the groups, we're often just talking about the things we do day by day, which help us to pray better, read our Bible better, have fellowship with one another in a more meaningful way. So it may sound a bit sort of stodgy, but actually it's very permissive and it gives a real opportunity for us to learn from each other.
So how did the author come up with the habits? Were they his own ideas, or was there a biblical basis to it?
Yeah, he looked at the passage in the book of Acts when the church is just born after the day of Pentecost, and it's got a really exciting feel about it. It's quite a big adventure, the whole church thing, and using that passage, he sort of draws out 10 habits. I don't think it's supposed to be the only habits we have, but he draws 10 important ones out of that.
And would it be worth you just reading it for us, Carl?
Yeah, I'll put my glasses on it, and it says,
great, thank you.
They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and the prayers. Awe came upon everyone because many wonders and signs were being done by the apostles. All who believed were together and had all things in common. They would sell their possessions and goods and distribute the proceeds to all as they had need. Day by day, as they spent much time together in the temple, they broke bread at home and ate their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having the goodwill of all the people. And day by day, the Lord added to their number those who were being saved. And he uses that passage and draws 10 habits out of that.
Well, those are really familiar words to most of us. Those who've been going to church for a number of years will have heard that message many times. Surely we're already doing most of those things as part of our normal church life.
I think that if only it were that straightforward, then life would be easier in every department, wouldn't it? But we can always improve. I mean, I became a Christian when I was 17, and yes, I know about Bible study, I know about prayer, I know about the importance of breaking bread and meeting with other Christians, but I can always improve. And I find that iron sharpens iron, that mixing with other Christians, I get challenged by them, I learn things from them, and so I find that it's an excellent forum, the Bible study group, to learn how to be a better and more authentic believer in this particular situation that we find ourselves in. So
how are the groups tackling each topic then?
Well, I go to both groups, and on the Monday group, we're looking in detail at one of the holy habits. So we're doing 8 weeks studying the holy habit of worship. And then in the other group, they're taking an overview. So each week we look at a different holy habit and just touching it quite lightly, with the idea of getting a more general overview. So they're very different approaches, but it's the same idea. You have a passage, short passage of scripture, and then about a few questions which we chew on together, and that opens up discussion and we learn from each other. The worship group, we will do it for 8 weeks. And as well as having the home group, we've got a little booklet of daily readings, which take about 5 minutes to do. I timed myself on that, where you just have a passage and a little reflection to read each morning. And that's what we do in the one group, looking at worship. And then in the other group, we just literally meet together on the Wednesday and discuss that habit, and have a good time.
So if anybody's interested in joining us, would you recommend they come along now or wait until next term?
Oh, they're not the sort of groups that there'd be any problem about joining in halfway along. So I think that now we're entering a period of lockdown. For myself, I think that home groups are a really great way of keeping in contact with people and getting to know people better. And also, we've talked about building resilience. Well, holy habits are good habits for building resilience as well. So I find them very beneficial, and anyone can join. And I know some people don't like groups, but I think that there is something different about studying the Bible together from just other group situations. So I'd encourage anyone to give it a go.
Well, thank you very much, Carl, for your positive comments about these studies. And I'm pleased that you're managing to get to both of them. That must take quite a bit of your time in the week, but obviously you think it's very worthwhile. I would join with Carl in inviting you to join us if you can, if you'd like to. Please let me know by email if you'd like to come along, and I can make sure that you've got the relevant Zoom link so you can join us either on Monday evening or Wednesday evening. Thank you.